Okay, good morning. Testing the mic. I should have did that before. Hold on a second. Testing the mic. The motherfucker is hot. Good morning and welcome to Monos featuring me, Monica Mo Justice. It might be a little dark over here. Hang on a second. Okay, I am eating my breakfast. So, um, I will be, I don't know what the hell y'all see for a minute until I finish my breakfast. Y'all need to do that. Make y'all some breakfast in the morning. All right. But I'm gonna chat and chew. While I get this started. And while you guys get settled down. But I don't have all morning. I have to be out of here by 9 o'clock. This is gonna be another issue or another topic that falls under just on YouTube. Because only some shit can only happen on YouTube. I swear, or in this social space. That's why I'm at that level right now. All right, let me come over here. Let me take this to being people and blogs because this is about people and blogs. And let me put some term limits on who can talk to me. Okay. I'm sure everybody is probably still asleep because it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. I ain't spoke to nobody since yesterday afternoon. So that's another good thing for me. But I did see some lives come about last night. That I am gonna opine on this morning. And the reason why I'm opining this morning on them is because one, I was mentioned in one live. I was accused by somebody of doing, I don't know what for the other live. And I'm not coming up here to defend myself. If people believe that I participated in some fuck shit, I'm gonna let them believe what you want to believe. I'm not here trying to convince folks that do not matter to me that some shit matters. I'm not about to do that. What I do know is that I didn't participate in activities because I didn't like the way the activities turned out. And because I am a person who believes in being a critical thinker, an independent thinker, and do stuff on my own accord, that's what independent thinkers do. People who know how to be critical thinkers do that all the time. They don't shut off their critical thinking skills because they've become friends or non-friends, or they've entered into associations or relationships or partnerships or any kind of ship, SHIP, with folk. Doesn't turn off their ability to think for oneself and to execute a plan that one is comfortable with. The problem around here, and that's a video I made many months ago, is that you guys believe in collective bargaining. I'm gonna give y'all some new terminology. But y'all believe in doing things instead of doing it as an individual and being accountable for your own act. You prefer to be considered part of a group. Y'all give them names. Y'all claim them. And then you act accordingly. But when you become a member of a group, the one thing that you lose is your independence and your individuality. And you find yourself having to do what the group says at the time the group says do it, or you need to seek the approval of the group leader, or else the group enforcers or the group soldiers will be out there critiquing your every move, punishing you, penalizing you for being an independent person, meaning doing something outside of the scope of what they have approved you or authorized you to do. Who the fuck are you people? And this has no money involved in it, no anything. I heard these words the other day. How will this benefit you? I have to ask the same question. Why do y'all believe that being part of groupthink is a benefit? I remember, see, this that bullshit. When somebody said people were paying fucking, it was a sarcastic statement, but they were paying for protection on here. And it's not too far-fetched, because I remember when Logic came in my room one morning and offered me his protection plan. Yo, this shit is real out here. So today's conversation is going to be when the scripts turn on the script writers, and Mo's thoughts about that. So let me have my breakfast, and I'll be right with y'all on that topic. Okay, thank you to the screen report recorders that are recording me, that stayed with me so I could have my breakfast. I figured I had time to do that. I figured I had time to do that. All right. Where do we begin? How do we begin? Um, First, let me send a text message to. Let me send the text message first, and then I'll tell y'all who I'm texting. Okay, so let me begin like this. So on these YouTube streets, people are expecting you not to strike up a live, but to contact them first if you have their phone number, if you're going to talk about them. Now, hear this. I, Monica Mo Justice, have not entered into any agreement that before I go live, I'm going to contact people and tell them about to talk about them. When people talk about me, I be fucking asleep. I don't know nothing about what the fuck is going on. Sometimes I be um I want to say hopping through the cemetery, and I hop upon a channel and they're talking about me. I don't have a tissy fit about it. I just be like, why the fuck am I coming up in this? Why am I here? Why am I being mentioned? Um no one ever sent me no notification that they're about to talk about me. And the worst part about it is majority of the time when I'm mentioned in people's shit, their videos miraculously disappear by the time I wake up to hear it, or when people make me aware of the video and then I go to look for it. Guess what happens? It's no longer available to me to see how I was mentioned, what was said about me, or whatever. But unlike other people, I will be courteous. Just out of abundance of who I am. Has nothing to do with who you guys are, because I don't know if y'all have any ethics. And if you do, you don't have my ethics, my level of ethics. Okay, here's the situation. A couple of weeks ago, I had a live. I think it's the live that's named Bingo, Bingo, right? And I came on here and I said, for the best or worst of things, I was commenting on why I will not play games on the internet with you folks. So I want to be clear. It's any game with you folks. It has nothing to do with being the bingo specifically, or it could have been the survivor game, so on and so forth. Miss Tawana was one of those folks who always wants me to participate in stuff. So she's always encouraging me to join in with people. And, you might want to do this, Monica. They got the court show. You would make an excellent judge. So she finds a way to always try to uh, encourage me to participate and come along with folks. I could see it. And I've expressed numerous times on here, I've been burnt by the other content producers that are in this sector that I seem to be matched with by the algorithm gods. So I've respectfully declined numerous times, but I have always encouraged folks to go ahead and do their whatever they're doing as their content. And where I can promote it because of it aligns with my personal goals, or if it aligns with what I personally think is fine for me, something I want to endorse, I will endorse. If the shit falls apart like Survivor fell apart, I stopped dead center talking about it. And it was at a critical time when y'all ops was looking at y'all. So I just took the high road and said I will not discuss it because I don't know how that shit is gonna turn out. Who's really upset about what? So I just leave well enough alone. I don't know who is the executive producer of a show, who's the writer of a show up in here, because the only motherfucking show that matters to Momo is Monica Mo Justice. I am the executive producer. It is an exclusivity club up here. I'm executive producer. I am the star of the show. What else do I do? I'm in charge of the scripts that are written here, and the research that is done here is done by Mo. Everything's by Mo. I try to take as little as influence from the people abroad so that I can have exclusive rights to my own shit. But everyone's not the same around here. Some of you guys, your platforms are group settings wherein y'all do group shit and y'all write shit together, y'all argue together, and y'all fall apart together. The only person I have to be mad at around here is Mo at the end of the day. It's a good feeling to only have to answer to Mo, executive producer. I'm CEO. I'm the bitch over here. And I only have to be the bitch to me. So Miss Tawana comes in the chat one day as I'm talking about, let me preference it, Still Cross came in my room one morning when I was talking about legal issues, the things that are like true to me and my channel. And he came in here promoting the bingo. And I'm going to use those words because that's how I feel his activities were. And in that exchange, while I was on the live talking about something else, he came in and said to me, Mo, the bingo game from last night was fabulous, something to that effect. We gave away nearly, maybe it was like $800. Hey, Satsuma, it was something less than $1,000. And you should join us. So I said, no, I don't do that because I don't have a PayPal, Cash App, whatever. So I'm not getting involved. Still said, Mo, I said, I don't have a Cash App. I take PayPal. I don't do PayPal. I'll do Zelle. I was like, no, we're not doing Zelle. The bottom line is I'm not playing with the people on this internet and my fucking money. Is that clear? Has nothing to do with I dislike anybody or anything else. I can still rock with you. I'm not going to play with motherfuckers on the YouTube with my motherfucking money. I don't play with your money. I don't ask you for your money to run me. Nothing do I need your money for to make me whole. Now, I did realize, and I didn't realize until I found out thereafter, that to play some of these games, you have to pay to play. So when talking to Karen, she says to me, well, that's not far-fetched. How do you think people would want to play your games? And I was like, woo, come back to season 1. We play games over here in Motown, and I had no cash rewards, and people wanted to play. The room was over motherfucking crowded. It had nothing to do with anybody giving anybody else money. Maybe the game would have been more successful, however successful, whatever y'all say, however y'all say it funny. I'm not in the mood to do that shit today. But anyway, if you pay people, then I find out later down the road that this is what happens. People get, in order to be contestants, in shit. They have to be persuaded to participate with money at the end of the road, every game, every whatever. I'm just like, oh yeah, not my forte. I just want people to fucking hang like it was just something to do. But that's because this is my community over here, and the people that are within my community are built a different kind of way. No shots being thrown to anybody that's doing it another way on their platform. That's your prerogative, and I respect it. But for me, it's a different concept or construct that I have to also be knowledgeable is out there. It doesn't work for me, but it doesn't mean that you can't do it. It's the same thing as in your personal lives, or as you leave the YouTube space. There are things that happen in real life, and I hate to use the word real life, but there are things that happen outside of the YouTube environment, not on YouTube, that people move differently. And that's why I'm doing this JoY series just on YouTube, because I need there to be an understanding that people do things differently on this social platform than what you would expect to happen in your real life, or when you exit the channel, when you close the app up. Some people call this the free app. When you release yourself from the free app, this is not the shit that happens in the real world. So with that being said, that was my introduction to Do You Want to Play Bingo? Check out the next bingo game. See how you feel about it. So I, with that open invitation, checked out the next bingo game. And I did not like what I saw. One, I didn't understand some things. But I didn't come up here bashing shit, except for one construct of it, one minute thing, which had to do with Nicola and the PayPal. So in my live that morning, I mentioned the PayPal situation, and I also mentioned that prior to the game, I was speaking to someone who wanted to play the game with y'all. And they were asking me the rules. So Miss Tawana came up in here and said, why would you be talking about somebody? Because it's my prerogative. It's my fucking conversation with somebody to be talking to somebody. Don't you motherfuckers talk to people every fucking day? So because I was making that point poignantly, because Miss Tawana was out of pocket even asking me that question, because it was not a criticism. It was somebody asking, why would that person come to you and ask you questions about the game instead of going to the people that run the game? Good question. Since they probably was there in the room, they could have answered your question for you. Or maybe they could see it from your perspective of asking that question. But it's not far-fetched for people to be having discussions about shit they see on the internet. And this was shit that they wanted to participate in. And since Still Cross himself brought it to my channel in my chat, the person thought I looked it up and that I might be playing that go round. And I said no. And we went over some questions about what would happen. So when you give your money, what happens to this? What happens to that? I was like, well, I have to check with Honeylot, but because I do know Honeylot played the game. But you could check with Honeylot too if you got her number, you know? But in any event, so that was the conversation. So one of the questions that came up, just like the devil to always be motherfucking busy, is what would happen if a person won both so in that game, you go from being a contestant in game 1, game 2, game 3, game 4. The winners of each of those games move forward to something called a ball around. It's not a round that they have to pay for. I didn't know how it was funded, the ball around, how they got the money for the ball around. So I couldn't tell anybody that was asking me where the jackpot came from, the ball around. But what I did know is that the winners of the game. So the question came up and said, what happens if a person wins twice? I said, then there's only 3 people over there to play the ball around. To my chagrin, what happened? That same fucking scenario came up when I was playing a game. And I'm not going to say arbitrarily right now, because Albany has answered the question for me. She came on the platform and she told me it was her prerogative because it was her channel, her game. She was in charge of it. She changed the rules in the middle of the game, and that is okay. Now, it might not work for me, but those are her rules, her game, her channel. I respect that. No issue with me beyond me asking the question. I had a right to ask the question. I received an answer. Just because I don't like the answer doesn't mean that it needs to go on and on and on and on. It's a dub for me. But I can tell you from my perspective that whenever you're playing a game with my money, and that game wasn't with my money, if the rules are going to change in the middle of the game arbitrarily and capriciously, right? There's a legal term for that. Arbitrary and capricious. I don't want to be a part of that. So reason number 2, I won't be in any games on this side of town, or maybe that side of town, or any side of town. It's because the rules could change at any moment in a game, because it's the content creators platform, and they have a right, they have exclusivity to do whatever it is they want to do, and I have to respect that. Now, that's it. That's everything. That's just how it goes. The other reason, which was so that's reason number 2. The rules can change at any moment of the game, and you don't get to say anything about it. We've seen the rules around here change in the middle of the game, and I will tell y'all about a time when I was in a game with you motherfuckers and the rules changed in the middle of the game. Remember the election? When it was DC's game, his thought, which another nigga stole. Well, actually, I take that back. It was DC's game that he shared with another platform creator, Logic, to execute, because he thought Logic had the tools to carry it out. I'm good with that. I was asked to run with my partner, King of Foe. I said, let me ask King of Foe. Before I could ask King of Foe, an ad went out saying that we were going to do this together. King of Foe told me unequivocally not. He's not playing games on this motherfucker with these people. So I had to eat that. Not embarrassing moment for me. He don't want to participate. He really don't participate in shit. That's when the rules change. So not only didn't I get to get back to you and tell you, oh no, he don't want to do it, but I still played on. Remember there was a campaign. There was one of those election debates when I was live over here doing my live, only to find out as a main candidate that they were having a debate. We still played nice in the sandbox, all of us, right over here. I went over there and did the debate that I was not formally invited to, that was commencing without me. That was because the content creator had the right to do whatever fucking rules he wanted in the middle of the motherfucking game. I played nice. I went over there with the debate. We even had a third candidate. YouTube, Court TV, cousin. Do y'all not fucking remember this? Oh, I'm just showing y'all examples of when I play games on this motherfucker and how the games ended bad for me. Because the rules got to change in the middle of the game. Okay, so then, good morning, Gleb. After we went through that and we did the debate, there was the election day. So the election day was supposed to be the last day of the month. What happened, y'all? The 30th day, that month had 31 days. The 30th day, they're running the election. So I'm over here on a live, and then it's crazy. It's like, Mo, come over here and vote. I'm over here with the influencers, and I'm like, look at this shit. These motherfuckers are running on. Like, it's like, so I gotta smile and grin it off. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm over this shit. So then they like, well, Mo was a sore loser. Script writers. This is the script. Okay, just making it known. That's the script that I unwillingly or unknowingly participated in fully, just as a physical character. But without any, the writers didn't even provide me with my lines. Okay. What was the narrative after that? Oh, she got she's upset because she lost. No. Miss Tawana was there. Miss Tawana was like, Monica's not upset. We never anticipated her winning, but we didn't expect the rules to change in the middle of the motherfucking game, did we? Okay, so let's get out of that season. We're not going to talk about that having that election probably added salt to an issue with Reckless because he was known as the president. He told me specifically he didn't care if I ran in that position. It wasn't anything against him. I played along because all I wanted to do inside of this group was to be able to figure out a way that we can move forward, that we can engage with each other and move forward. So I was willing to participate in things that I thought would move us forward. Okay, ergo, boom, 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 boom. When is there another instance, Monica, when you played on this motherfucking platform and the shit went bad? Over there again at Logic's house. Remember the town hall meeting? The town hall of shame. If you don't know that story, I gave y'all the other story because it's so far back in time. And the characters are Logic, Rocket, boom, boom, boom. And then there was a dispute later on that came out with Rocket, and it seemed like that was the tenant or ground zero was that election when it wasn't for me. But it had to have something because he did make this video where I was Monica Lewinsky, a video to this day I still have not watched, but he asked me to watch it with the sanity that I would find it funny. I have not found that space to watch it so that I've not been in that place yet where I find humor so I can watch it with an open mind. So I don't, because then I would be probably watching something from an angry perspective, and then it would make for angry, bitter content when I'm at peace with the person. So back to now, Bingo 2021, the last bingo game that I've seen on here. Something came up with Nicola's PayPal. And I said, that's it. That's it. That's everything. I reached out to Nicole and I was like, I don't know what's going on with the PayPal thing, but this is a nightmare because it will give the Robin Sinners some fucking reason to come back out, say something about you, shorty, and the and this PayPal situation. Ergo, making all of us part of this shit all over again with the Robin Sinners. I was like, this shit is just gonna be a fucking nightmare. That was it. That's all I was saying up here on the platform. That's how I felt. That's it. Other things that I saw, nothing really stood out to me. So I said the day before yesterday in a conversation. But when I was speaking to Karen about the bingo situation, And I didn't realize that bingo had some deep holes with her, right? That she played a game which I don't consider to be bingo. Okay. So Karen has been very upset that people have stolen her game. She called her game bingo. But when she was describing it to me, I was like, what the fuck is that? Right? It sounds like pick whatever, pick Karen, pick whatever. So she said, well, it is because they get to pick the numbers, but I call them out. So because the numbers align with how the bingo is set up, maybe it's like B 1 through 15. She's very versed in this. The I, whatever. She considered it bingo, but you got to select your own letter, your own numbers, email numbers to her. Then she made a whole game. It's a real production. As in all of these games, anybody that plays any game up in here, it's a production to make the game happen for you. The people that write those scripts, they take a lot of time putting together a game to have engagement with the community. A lot of work goes into the games. No matter how the game turns out or how people feel afterwards, a lot of work goes into developing the game to come forward on here. Anywho, unbeknownst to me, that was a real hot point for her, who had bingo first, who did bingo second, how it got over there to some other chick, and then now how it's co-worked, whatever. Yeah, none of that mattered to me. I'm just gonna be very honest. Like, I listen, but none of that matter. Like, it's not the center of my gravity, right? But Karen says to me, some things disturbed her in the game. And I said, just matter of fact, like, why you didn't say anything when it happened? And she said, because I didn't want to disturb the game. So I'm going to be 100 with y'all. And this is what I said to Still Cross the other day. I might have been the reason why Karen came out here and made the video that she made, because it was processing or our conversation that may have led up to her coming out here. And I feel horrible for that, because the consequence for her was that she could no longer be part of the other demonstration that she was in. But it was not done maliciously on my part. It was done in whole to say to Karen, are you really changing like this? You're sitting somewhere now where you don't like the way something happened and you're quiet about it. You didn't say anything. Now, that was not a cue to go strike up a live and talk shit about nobody. That was a cue to have a conversation with the people involved in the shit. Lo and behold, I will own that conversation till I die. Even if one person will say to me, no, you're not the reason why I did that, Monica. You're not the reason why the rest of the stuff happened. I feel that I am, so I'm going to own what I feel. But I don't give a fuck about how the rest of y'all feel. Let me just make that abundantly clear. I don't really give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, you folks around here think that you can change people from who they are. You think that you could predictively program and make a person conform to be around you. That you are high and mighty enough that another person wants to be around you enough that they would sell their motherfucking disagreements, their grievances. Because in anything that you do, believe you me, there is a process for grievance, that they would sell their grievances. And what I told Karen, there is still a missing part of this story that I will not reveal, because it was said to me in confidence and it's not my place to repeat it. But I said to Karen, you was wearing that card that night. So when people look at it, they're looking at you. They're not looking at anybody else. They're looking at you. If it was acceptable to you, then it was acceptable to everybody. And you not saying anything at the time is a problem. for you, because it's only going to bother her. It's not going to bother the rest of y'all, because y'all are accustomed to being in groupthink anyway. So you know not to think outside of the group or move differently than the group. Yeah, that part. Okay, so moving on. Karen then strikes up the live, and y'all know what happened from there. She got banned from, hey, Sir Drop, she got banned from the game, from the Christmas demonstration with no refund, no nothing. I ain't come out here and say anything. I kept quiet. Because everything else, now I had people's phone numbers. I could have called them and I could have defended, striked up a defense for her. But what was I dealing with inside my own room? Oh, Monica is defending Karen. Monica got into all these problems because Karen came along. No. These are the issues that it don't matter if it was Karen, because I got some shit to advocate for Nicola that y'all don't know about. That part. But we as influencers over here, you know, influencers for life, we don't act like that. Did I say hi to you, Sir Drop? We don't act like that. We don't cry over spilt milk. We move on. But we watch what you do and we understand where it comes from, and we work with that. So that's the end of, or at least I thought, that's the end of the bullshit. Karen does not get to participate in the activities associated with the gift giving. Although she gave gifts, bought gifts for people, whatever. Apparently she was voted out the island. However that went. I tried to then be very out of it, because I had already set some shit in motion without even realizing the bigger consequences for somebody like Karen, who was changing to be around you motherfuckers. I'm sorry. That's the way I see it. And I still see her changing so much about the way I see a whole lot of development in a whole lot of stuff that you guys make fun of about her. I just see a whole lot of change. And it's not because, oh, Monica, that's your friend. No, it's because she's a human and I've watched her evolve. I'm looking at her, watching her evolve. Those of you who got issues with her, in this, I'm gonna be very honest. If somebody accused me of being some shit that I wasn't, you know, her troll accounts and whatever, however she attacked people from that perspective, some people can't get over that. And I'm not asking anybody to, and I don't think she's asked anybody to forgive her for that. I think that what she tried to do was just show people a different side of her, like who she is outside of the highly erratic shit, the highly expressive, explosive her that you see. In any event, I'm not here to defend her calling anybody a troll or associating you with an account, because she did that to people that are very close to me here in my own group. And when she did those attacks on the people that you consider influencers here, right? And they consider themselves influencers, and we know them as influencers, even though I'm trying to turn the tide on that commentary. When she attacked people that was over here with me in real time, when it really happened, you know what I told them? No response is the best response for that. You're not that other woman's channel over there that she has a clear problem with. You're not her. So why are we gonna spend time defending? And this is before I knew Karen, who you are to her. This is somebody, like, it just seemed crazy to me. This somebody just read, hey Karen, this is somebody that's just out here accusing people of being shit, throwing out allegations. Anybody can make an allegation. When you give the allegation weight, you're giving credence to their problem. You're adding to it. You're becoming part of that person. You're allowing that person to write a better script because now you have accepted the challenge. You have agreed to, without realizing you've agreed to, become a character to take on that character in that person's allegation. So I'm just like, yo, you know, that's just how that goes. So we ignored it. And then I got an email from one of you dropettes out there. Hey, Mo, Karen made a video about you. She had such and such and such and such to say. I don't remember the details of it. All I remember, though, is that I said, give me the link. I watched the video. I came over here and I said, listen, I don't know what the fuck y'all heard, but that's not what I heard over there. The woman was not talking about me bad. And that was that. And ever since then, Karen has been in and out of this space over here. And that's just how it's been. That's just how it's been. Thank you to the moderator who did that. So I let that one rock out. I let that one rock out without no issues. But yes, Karen's presence caused a whole lot of shang dang dang over here inside my space because people feel a certain kind of way and she has done things to people and I can't make them accept her and I can't make her accept them. All I ask everybody is to respect each other when they're around me. So going back now to where we are at yesterday. So that's all the background on bullshit that came out of the bingo game and how I even became a part of the bingo discussion. So now let us move on to having a telephone conversation. What day did I go to the dentist? Wednesday. Having a telephone conversation with somebody when I came from the dentist. And what that entails. Nothing critical for me. But what I did know during that conversation is that other people have had some harsh feelings towards the person I was on the phone with. And it appeared to me that the person I was on the phone with had some harsh feelings towards other people as well. What do you do when you're in a situation that you know people don't like each other or that there's a discrepancy between people? Do you bed down deeper in their shit or do you fucking mind your business? You mind your business. There's no side for me to pick in any of this because I'm not really acquainted with either side. I have a conversation with somebody on the phone. But this is the thing that bothers me about people that believe they have your phone number. The only reason why they want your phone number on this bullshit is to prevent you from being who you are. That's all I could think of at this point in time. Because if you cherish and respect my motherfucking mind over matter, you wouldn't give a fuck how I convey shit when I come up here on my platform. But if you have a caveat to that relationship and say, hey, if you're talking good about me, go right ahead. But if you got anything negative to say to me on your independent platform that is run by you, created by you, operated by you, and all about you, you better call me first. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. The people that have to call you first are the people that are like your fucking ride or dies and they fucking strike up a video about you. Like a Miss G strikes up a video about me angry because I took the wrench away. That's somebody I could have said, call me first. Miss G struck up a whole video that the ops on the other side decided to use against her to say, Monica got problems in her camp. I beg to differ. I got no problems in my camp. I know exactly how the people around me feel about shit, and I try to respect everyone's position. I don't love the people that have been around me, my day ones, any less because they over there. Again, the same drunk bitch. Oh, Satsuma and Ivame is up inside the room. The influencers talking shit. They got a right to do that. Don't peg them as Monicas. They independent. They could go over there and say whatever the fuck they want to say. That's their right. And I would fight for their right to be able to do that. But again, it's somebody with their own fucking thought process saying so-and-so ain't got no business over in such and such. Who the fuck are you? People are free to go wherever the fuck they want to go. Why do you think I had LTG on the platform? To reinforce, I don't know her. But if the people that really ain't been around me day ones are over there saying hi to her, it's not a problem to me. I know one fucking thing, they're not going to sit in the room they're not going to sit in the room under the names I know them as, listening to her talking shit about me, typing in her room. But people want to bring me back and say, oh, Miss G did that. Miss G said, happy, congratulations on your wedding at a time when she knew that she was making videos about your son. A motherfucker named Neutral made a song about me 3 years ago that I never even heard until last year, 2021 in the summer. We thought it was a new track only to find out it was a flashback. So shit does happen around here that people don't know about. And I'm going to speak on Neutral because Cameron spoke on that situation yesterday. And I am going to touch on it again because Yvonne is a moderator over here. So I find that it's only right that I'm going to have to speak on that as well from my perspective. Moving on. Y'all need to grow the fuck up. That's basically what I'm saying this morning. Y'all need to grow the fuck up. Yesterday, this woman named PGE, Pretty Green Eyes, right? She came in my room in the last month. I want to say in the month of December. She came in my room. She subscribed to my channel. She's been sharing my videos. I feel compelled. None of you motherfuckers are sharing my videos. Been around me for ages. Got 500 people. You're not sharing my shit. I go in her room. I made a concerted effort when she was in here like 2 days ago to make sure I subscribed to her channel. I saw the thumbnail. Not the thumbnail. I saw the title yesterday afternoon while I was at work. I shared it. Did I share it? I might have shared her. I shared her because I put the eyes up there. The title caught me. Something about liking. Liking people for money or liking people, whatever it was. I know one thing. I've been on this motherfucker giving people the thumbs up and I ain't made no goddamn money. Now I do know that when I put people in situations around here, I swear to goodness. Okay, Satsuma, I can't deal with you in this goddamn cigarette. Now, Sat, if you are not up to date, please refresh because this fucking cigarette, the cigarette in you bothers me. Okay. Where was I at? Oh, so I go in the ladies' room. I write new subscriber. I'm listening before I get pulled on a call from my boss at work. And I was working on a report yesterday that time out. When I went yesterday, I dropped my daughter off at her job. Shout out to her, because motherfuckers on this YouTube been on Rona and motherfuckers don't have a job, but my daughter has a job. She has to be there at 5 a.m. in the morning. Her mother got her there. Well, she had to be there at 6 a.m. Her mother got her there. Got to leave my house at 5 a.m. Had to be outside at 4:30, shoveling motherfucking snow to get the car out so that I take my daughter to work. Right? So I've been up since 3:30, 4 o'clock yesterday morning, handling my motherfucking business. Okay? So I had to get my daughter to work. Then my daughter calls me and she says, you don't have to pick me up because you don't have to pick me up at the scheduled time because they asked me to stay later, probably because of the snow. She didn't realize she's being used, but that's another story. Till 5. So I'm like, I got a deadline of a report. I was hoping to get T's little ass at 9 o'clock, pick her up from work at 9, go get her at 9, bring back at 10, and then have the rest of the fucking day to stay here and work on the report. Now I am being fucking distracted from my job. So I go ahead, and this is the time when the boss is calling me, giving me changes, edits, whatever, to the brief. I go on and I say, I'm listening to this video, and at some point in the video, she's saying something, and I write inside the chat, did you call the people first? Something to the effect, because now I know this shit is going haywire. Now, this is why I hate sharing people's content on my wall until I've seen the content, because you never know how the content is gonna fucking turn out. So I'm listening to it. It's terrible because it's buffering. It's whatever. So I check out on it. I come back there. I'm doing whatever I need to do. I go out. I go get my tea, whatever, pick her up. I come back. I do my job. When I finish the brief and I go upstairs, because now my phone is blowing up. So I done left this motherfucker in another room. Check the phone, and I'm being basically accused of putting a battery in that woman's back to make a video. I don't even know that woman. Never spoken to her, never text her, never emailed her, only her come in the room, say, hi, Monica. Y'all got issues with each other. Don't put me in y'all issues. And the story has nothing, just because, and I don't believe in coincidence, but just because you spoke to me, don't mean I went and took some shit over there to somebody else. Annoying. So if the first level is don't talk to me, great level to be on. I don't want to talk to nobody here. Period. I keep telling y'all that. I've cut many of y'all off at the legs. What I gotta do? Stab motherfuckers in the heart? I seen this shit. I've had people come to me and tell me, I said, thank you for speaking to so-and-so. And when I tell somebody that, they're like, hold up. Want to make a call? Say I lie. Hold up. Put the other person on the phone. Why was y'all talking about me? Whoa. You people are all the way crazy. Y'all not semi-crazy. Y'all all the way crazy. And this is without a drink in you. This is just y'all in y'all natural occurrences. And it's worse when y'all fucking group think, because it's a mob That's what somebody described it yesterday to me. It's a mob mentality to go after somebody. I'm a fucking independent. Have been and always will be on this shit. Come for me if you want to. I fight back. And I fight hard and I last long. Longer than some people's penises, apparently, around here. If you hear some people tell stories. But so I'm just telling every motherfucker, you've been warned. You come for me if you want to. Be prepared, I'm gonna fight back. And I'm gonna do this shit longer than you because I got strategy. I don't write no scripts. Remember, the mama was a gangster? Mama Guns? I got time. I got time. I don't do shit in y'all time. There are motherfuckers on here I cannot fucking stand that have done something against me. Y'all know who y'all are. I haven't done anything yet, but you're on the list. She's checking it twice. She's gonna figure out who's naughty or nice. What goes around comes around. Okay, moving on. Let me talk on the situation with the real Yvonne. It's kind of weird because Glib and I was on the platform the night before last, and we was talking. Shout out to Glib because I enjoy having him up here speaking to me. Y'all people are crazy, but in any event, it's good to be on the platform and not be on here by yourself. Now here come Yvonne to say, hey, Mo. So yes, we spoke on Yvonne up here because I could not believe, for me, right? I'm up here in my script zone because this title, I've been in the makings of it since I watched Yvonne's video the other night. So when I was on here with Glib, Yvonne sent out a notification that she was going live that night. I said, okay, I'm going to check out Yvonne. And I looked at my phone and I hit that fucking button to remind me when the person does go live, the notification never came. Glib and I was like, talking it up. And then we finished and we ended. So I didn't get to watch that live that night of Yvonne's until it was in replay mode. But the night before, I got to watch Yvonne's live from the night before. And Yvonne said that basically, when a man finished doing his business and she put him to sleep. So I have to take it from the perspective of Yvonne, right? Even though I probably didn't heard the other dude's response or whatever it was. Because now, based on Karen's video, I don't know what happened first. All I know is what I heard and what I heard again. So Yvonne is up here talking about, she snapped the picture of somebody's penis after he did the thing, right? So I've been having a problem digesting that because I'm like saying to myself, what would make me snap a penis Okay, whoop, Miss Tawana, let me finish my Yvonne story and then I'll come back on you because there's two. Whoop, let me do a timeout for Tawana for 1 second. But I'm going back to Yvonne's story and then I'll come back to Miss Tawana. I'll do whatever we need to do with time stamping. Miss Tawana, are you responding to my text message to you before I mentioned your name this morning? Or are you responding to, is your statement in the chat, Mo, I can't find the timestamp, but you got something you want to say to me? Or are you here on something somebody told you I said? So it's one or the other. Are you responding to my message from this morning, or are you responding to something someone told you I said about you? And that's why you're looking for a timestamp. Okay, moving on. So when I listened to Yvonne's video and she said she screamed, she was clicking, dick clicking. That's what I'm gonna call it, dick clicking. She was dick penis clicking. I said to myself, well, wait a fucking minute. I've had terrible dick in my life. But I did not. No, it's not both, quite frankly, because you came in here and said for a timestamp. I didn't email you a timestamp. I didn't text you a timestamp. I text you and said, and it's so funny because I text you live on the live. And I said, before I mention this person's name, and I didn't tell people who I text. I said, before I mention this person's name, I'm going to send them a text to let them know I'm about to mention their name. Good morning. I'm about to mention your name on my live. Just wanted you to know. Because I knew some fucking troublemaker around here would go and get you. Anywho, back to my the real Yvonne, and then I'll recap if I have time before I go pick up my daughter on what I said, because you can always replay it and hear exactly from how I introduced you into my topic to how I ended on you in the topic. Anyway, I said to myself, how many what is the probability that you would snap a picture of a man's dick because it didn't work well? Now, I might want to take a picture of some dick that laid me out, but not no dick that couldn't perform. Low performance penis is not something I would take a picture of, but that's just me. But if you writing scripts around here on the YouTube and you're fucking men on this YouTube, or you in fucking relationships that you can't trust the people in the first place, you might want to take out insurance policies. I'm not going to do that because I'm just not going to drop my drawers for the people around here. I think that's the best, that's my best remedy. I'm not fucking none of y'all. So and y'all shouldn't want to fuck me either. Because right now, they probably have to take a fucking lesson from the real Yvonne and have to make a picture of it. But this shit is like just that's so that I'm telling you right now, Yvonne, that shit. Oh. Got it. Anyway, that was our got it. That was our conversation that I was having with Glib up here. But I guess we didn't get into deep conversation about what had happened. I just was like, this is some shit only happens on the YouTube in that, right? So the question then that came up was, it seems like a malicious, it seems like a malicious that really fucked me up. So Karen is good friends with time out. Okay, so Karen is friends with Neutral, and yesterday she expressed her feelings towards what happened. And I will say that she's entitled to her own. She's entitled to see a situation on here and opine on it, because if you bring anything to the platform that gets put out here, people are going to roll with it how they see fit. This is what happens when you bring your personal relationships, when you bring what happened in off of YouTube onto YouTube. I can't do you right now, Tyon. Good morning, Tyon. So it's crazy to me. So I'm just like, this is really. So she gave her opinion on it, and all I'm saying is that I think I gave my opinion on shit. And that's about it. You could go back to sleep, Miss Tawana, because Miss Tawana, though, this is what I'm gonna say to you. Because I've had a great deal of respect for you for the longest time since I've been up here on this YouTube. And I know that you have some deep relationships with people that don't like me. And it is obvious that people don't like me, that like you. I don't think it's healthy for us to be in to have any dealings, period, in the story. So I'm severing this relationship moving forward. Period, end the story. Because at the end of the day, if I can foresee people being messy, the energy that and when you come and you throw out this word energy, the energy source is the motherfuckers y'all in bed with. That's the energy source. That don't got a goddamn thing to do with me. And that is why, out of abundance of respect for the relationship I have with you, I text you before I open my mouth to recall a story that involves you. But nothing that I could say, that's it. But your attitude here, then, and every other chance, I can't take it. I can't do with it. I can't deal with it no more. So I just want it to stay away from me. Period. End the story. And I got no other reason to speak to you any other place, any other point in time, anything else. That's about it. And I know that you that kind of woman, and you will understand that. You will definitely understand what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, if a person brings a situation to the YouTube, unfortunately, the mediocre section we're in is some it is a conflict section. I'm not gonna call it a beefing section because I don't think you motherfuckers, y'all don't even know how to roast like those people over there, right? But I think y'all like to stay in conflict. And it's a revolving conflict. Like revolving credit, it's like a revolving conflict. I ain't got no time for this no more. Like it is mundane. Know this, I ain't bring shit to YouTube first. I was spoke on first and finished it. I don't know, Yvonne, to be quite honest, I don't know who finished what. The only thing that came out of which always happens when people have conflict on here is it becomes somebody else's talking points, and the thing became a talking point on me just on women behavior. Is that atypical? And that's it. And I don't know if I would want a picture of bad penis. Like, I don't know if I want to remember that this is the worst penis I ever had, and I got a picture of it. I'd probably want to memorialize like the best shit, like this shit, right? See this pic right here? This is of the penis that fucking knocked me out and took me down south somewhere. I know it's not at me. I know it's not at me. And I'm gonna say this: I don't have anything personal against Neutral. I don't know how this shit evolved. I heard one video and I heard one response, but according to Karen's take, Yvonne, you put a video out here first, and Neutral's video that I heard was him responding to your video. And then you put out the next video. So they are saying you started it. Okay, well, if that's towards me, I left that shit in my video. Okay. Okay. Are y'all done now? Are y'all done? Because at the end of the day, whoever's fucking neutral is not Monica. So none of this matters to Monica. I'm just gonna be on what I need it to be on. And that's about it. And I can't predict down the future that I will end up in another space and there will be this YouTube guy who will just be dreamy to me, and I will want to have a relationship with him because I will remember why I cannot, because on this motherfucker people are snapping pictures and the shit becomes, like it just becomes that's about it. I'm not spending my morning on this shit, but I will once again say I do not as a practice of my own, right? I do not tell other people when other people have like I try not to be in the middle of bullshit as much as possible. But she's talking to you because she's a moderator in here. And as a moderator, YouTube will advise you that though you have somebody blocked, because I've seen this message occasionally, it'll say, because you have somebody blocked, please note that they are a moderator here and can see your comments. So you might be able to see her because she's a moderator, and she might be able to see you because she's the moderator. I don't know if you can see her because she's the moderator. I don't know that. You'll have to tell me that later. But she could see you because she's a moderator. And that's about it. I don't want no parts of this. And anyway, you know what the worst part about, I gotta go back to Miss Tawana, who's probably still in the building with that fucking negative energy that she came up in here with. Monica, go somewhere. Go. I'm gonna leave her. I'm gonna leave her alone because I did have some shit to say. But see, she's hoping, or the community at large is hoping that I say something. No, I'm gonna say it. Fuck it, because you only get one. I'm one and done on this anyway, right? You people are wishy fucking washy. That's it. Y'all talk about other people who you never gonna fuck with again and blah 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 blah, and then you fuck with people again. Karen calls them peace treaties. I call them weak fucking folks. If I don't like you, I'm not gonna, and I make public rebuktions of you. I'm not fucking with this person. This person's a fuck person. I'm not no, I'm not meeting you for drinks. Period. End of story. But that's not my problem. And I don't give a fuck if you meet or don't meet for drinks. But the probability that you was willing to do that says to me, all this shit is fake. These script relationships are just too much for me. They've been unbelievable. When you look at the behaviors around here, you say, no, real people don't do that, blah, 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 blah. It only just on the YouTube, they do this shit. So in my real life, because in my real life, fortunately or unfortunately, I'm personally a real person who happens to have a channel on the YouTube that some people happen to say they want to conversate with me or whatever outside of the YouTube, right? So I have real shit that goes on. I don't do it with wish-washy folk. Too timey, two-faced, too everything. I ain't got time for it. I ain't got time for it. I told y'all this year I'm gonna be the big 5-0, and I'm gonna be the big 5-0, which means that the big 5-0, you can't do the childish shit you did at the big 05. So that's just it's too fucking early. Do this later today. This Motown. See, that's y'all problem around here. This is Mo's hour. This when I normally go live. I don't go live to accommodate people's shit. You should take your ass back to bed. That's what you said you was gonna do. You should take your ass to bed, because the last time when you really could have sparred with me, you didn't. You deflected and you decided to argue with you decided to argue with Karen when you really should have stayed your course and argued with me. I'd have had more respect. I would have had more respect for you. But I lost that then. And it's gone. Period. And this little activity this morning was the last straw. I don't need ventriloquists in my life. That's why I wrote what I wrote last night. Oh, by the way, I was asleep when Karen eventually went live because, like I said, I was up since 3 o'clock in the morning and I shoveled snow yesterday. So I was not in the mood for anything. When my body hit the bed, it hit the bed. And again, I was up early this morning taking my child to work. Oh, now your ass is, my ass was not in bed. Oh, drop the link. I meant my ass is still in bed. Oh, so drop the link. Bottoms up. I might have needed a drink for this.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good morning.
Good morning. I hear you from you. You got beef with me.
You hear me from me. Why can't you write what you feel when you write?
Because it's too much typing and I be moving too fast, but I can come on a link and say what I feel. It's easier.
Oh, well, maybe you should have did that, because you came in here and you said, let me go back to what you originally said.
What I originally said was, "Well, hey, I couldn't find the timestamp of what you said, what you had to say to me."
I
So,
have nothing to say to you. As I said in the text message I sent to you, was I was about to speak on your name, and I wanted you to hear from me that I was about to speak on your name.
okay.
Because any other, let me finish, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you. Any other time would have been somebody would have sent you a link to say, Monica was talking about you. So I wanted you to know I was going to speak on you. Normally, if somebody's going to speak on somebody negatively, and that's what I said in my video, they don't give people no warnings that they're going to speak on them. But I was retelling a story from a perspective of what you said and how you did something inside the chat, which prompted conversation. So I was speaking on that again. And in knowing the topic of it, I knew somebody would convey it poorly. So you coming in and saying that it was a time, where's the timestamp? I asked you, is this based on my text message to you or something else that somebody said to you? And your response was both.
Okay, we finished?
Finished.
First of all, I was responding to your text to me to drop down today because it was 6:48 when you sent it and it was almost 8 o'clock and I didn't want to zoom through it looking for a timestamp to see what it was you had to say. And it was easier for me to just ask you what was it you mentioning. Secondly, what it is when I said both is that I heard you've been mentioning my name not on a live, but doing telephone conversations. So I'm assuming that you have a problem with me that you haven't addressed. Instead, you're saying good morning rather than telling me what you feel. Secondly, I haven't even been in your chat. So the whole statement that you made this morning, you could have really kept it. Other than I felt that you're being messy with me.
I ain't speak about you on no conversation that I introduced about you. So you'd have to have that conversation.
You never had a conversation about my name and what my name is.
Monica, bring your name up? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Monica did not bring your name up in no conversation. Somebody mentioned, no, listen, there's a difference. There's a difference, Miss Tawana. There's a difference between me engaging in a conversation about you to somebody or somebody explaining to me why a whole community is mad at you for wanting to go to drinks with Logic. Does not mean that doesn't mean, let me finish. Doesn't mean I called somebody up to talk about you doing that. It didn't bother me one way or the fucking other. I could care less. You're not drinking with me.
Oh, well, I don't know about a whole community or somebody just speaking whatever it is they felt. And just like I said then, and I'll say it now, whatever I got going on with Logic has nothing to do with none of y'all motherfuckers. It's about me and Logic. Like I said to Logic a year ago, 6 months ago, at the town hall meeting, 3 months ago on the phone, I would love to have a conversation with him. And the fact that I didn't get on a live and cuss him from one end to the other and give whoever entertainment the way that they wanted it. That's you all's problem. I'm dealing with me and my issue, not everybody else in YouTube and what it is that they want to think about me, or whether or not somebody lose respect for me, because nobody around here spends their daily life with me that would make a difference. And those who did,
for me, and me saying I lose respect for you is just what you just did in the chat. This is not the first time. This is not the first time you've addressed me that way. So I'm just not in for it. Respectfully.
Why? You ain't in for somebody coming to you, calling you out when you trying to call them out? Because I've never been disrespectful to you. Like I said, you sent me a text saying you got a timestamp. So I'm like, what in the hell are you doing? It's fucking early in the morning. Everybody on a Saturday having coffee, chilling, enjoying their life, getting ready for their day, doing whatever.
So
what it is that I was saying.
I said I have a timestamp when I'm creating my own live here. I had a timestamp.
Did the fact that you didn't say it's timestamp, like I said to you again, if you are open to listening, I said that you were going to mention me. So I was trying to look for what you wanted to mention me about, and I couldn't find it. And I was like, I couldn't find the timestamp or figure out where you was. So it's easier because I scanned your live. It's easier just to drop in the thing and say what you got to say rather than trying to go back and listen to 2 hours of you talking.
Okay. It's not that easy because I am in a live when I'm already past the segment for somebody to come in to want to revisit a previous segment. So what did I say to you? I said, oh, I will discuss it when I finish with the topic on Yvonne because I didn't want to not finish that topic. But in the text message I sent to you, right, it's at the top of the show where I say, I'm about to mention you in the live.
And I assumed that it was negative because for the few minutes that I was listening to you, that's exactly what this live is about. Negativity.
Okay. And you know what I said on at the beginning of this show? It's my show. If you take the show as being negative, you're in your perspective, you have a right to feel that it's a negative show. I'm not
Okay,
going
well, you wanted to
persuade
tell
you
what it is that I'm
otherwise.
saying and assume that a third party somewhere then woke up early this morning on the same
I
BS,
assume,
sending me texts and
I
saying
didn't
there's
assume.
a timestamp or somebody talking about you. And I don't think nobody really that's interested in this because
Okay.
nobody did none of that.
You said both. So
What it
you are the
is both.
person.
What it is
You
both. When I
are
said
the
quite frankly
person
both,
who
so that
said
you
that.
understand, when I said both, so that you understand, which I
Okay.
said in the beginning, was that both. I
The
looked,
bottom line.
let me finish, is that I looked at your message and I seen what you said to me was one. And two, I was previously told that in a conversation, you were talking about me.
Okay. And I believe I have answered your concerns about a conversation with Still Cross. And I made it abundantly clear I did not initiate a conversation about you.
I only mentioned it again because you brought it back that I put both, like somebody said something, and I just said that I already told you that. And I already know what you're talking about.
It explains why you have an attitude because
I
you
don't
was
have an attitude, Monica.
yes,
What I have
it
an
does.
attitude
Yes, it does.
about,
It was
what I
under
have an attitude about is that you, rather than mentioning me, which you and I both had a conversation in person, I mean, on the phone and in your contacts world, is that when you got a problem with me, all you got to do is call me. To
your
make me
keyword.
is never going to go over well with me.
Your keyword is when you have a problem with me. I had no problem with you.
But if you
I
need to
spoke.
mention me,
I,
discuss me in
I
any manner, and
so
you want to, if you
so
want to
guess what?
use
Because
words
now,
literally, if you
okay,
want to
Miss
choose words
Tawana,
literally,
we're done. We're
you
done here.
right, because you this,
Because
I'm
at
tired
the
of doing
end of
this
the
dumb
day,
shit. And
no,
like I
we're
said,
done.
like
We're
you
done
said,
here.
7 hour
Goodbye,
friendship,
lady.
and don't use
Goodbye,
my
lady. Goodbye.
can move
Goodbye. I'm
quickly.
being nice to you.
Otherwise,
I don't want to throw you off, but I am telling you goodbye. We're done here.
as long
We're
as you,
done here.
and I will call you and
We're
make
done here. We're done. There's
I
nothing else to
you and
discuss.
make
There's
sure
nothing else to
you
discuss.
heard me so that we don't
There's
have
nothing.
petty
Have a
shit.
good day, Miss Tawana. Go back to bed. Okay. The bottom line is this is the shit that happens with folk. This is the shit that happens with folk. I don't want a relationship with Miss Tawana, so it doesn't matter. And there's no problem about it. I don't like the way certain people move. It's not conducive for me. And because it's not conducive for me, I'm not going to engage in it any further. Period. End of story. People make decisions every day and they decide to do things, and you look at how they roll, and you can make a determination if it's the way you want to roll. No, and I'm looking at Satsuma's question inside the chat. No, this has nothing to do. This had nothing to do with the bingo. This had to do with her saying what I can and cannot do. And if you listen to what she just said on the video, it is what is what wrong with these people fundamentally. They believe that you should talk to them and clear your talking points with them first. And I have no intentions on doing that. Not whatsoever. I have no intentions on doing that. This is my platform. If I happen to observe something that I want to talk about, which I have done my whole career on here, I am going to do that. I choose most of the time not to. So this discussion had nothing to do with her specifically and bingo. It has to do with that attitude, that same attitude that walked up in here and said, where's the timestamp on this? And I asked not to assume that somebody gave her this. I said, are you reaching out because of my message to you or somebody contacting you? And she said both. That's the problem around here. That's the problem around here. People listen to the videos and go back to the beginning of this video. And I said, people listen to this and they send it out to other folks. And they basically tell folks, well, Monica was saying this about you. And then the people never listen for themselves, or they give them a vague timestamp where I might have said specifically what they said I said, but they never had the context around it. Nobody got no time for that. Now, I could go live at 6 p.m. in the evening. I'm a morning show. I go live at the time most convenient for me. This is the time on this Saturday that was most convenient for me. Period. End of story. So now I will address Still Cross because there appears to be a problem with Still Cross. Now, knowing that Still Cross has a wife, I could address his wife on behalf of him because that's what I would do as a woman. I would address that man's wife because I know he has one. But I didn't have a conversation with that man's wife. I had a conversation with that man. And I'm sure if he goes to his initial beginning of the recording, he will you will hear him telling me that he sees I'm disturbed in my video and he knows it has to do with Miss Tawana. And I'm just like, oh, Miss Tawana, that's a good thing. Let me take it from there. It has to do with Miss Tawana. No, it has to do with a whole lot of other shit around here. And the shit that it has to do with is people believing that they can manipulate another person's channel. And people believing that I guess that's what the title, that girl's title was, like, there are people here that are funders of people's platforms. And if you put stake, if you fund somebody's platform and you put money into it, I guess you do have a right to run it. No one's put money, no one's backed me up. I'm not run or funded by anybody that you can control how I see things. That's never gonna happen. Never. That's why I don't take y'all donations or anything else, because I don't want you to believe that you have a stake in my game. There are other channel producers here that are completely on the opposite spectrum of that. And they tell you, you should donate to me. I'm telling you, because of the way I see how this mentality out here runs, you're not going to run me. You're not going to be pay a penny into me and think you own fucking 100% of me. You put 1% in and you think you own the other 99% of me. No, fuck that. And fuck you for thinking that that's what it is. Ain't no mafia motherfuckers around here. Are you fucking kidding me? That part. This explains now why y'all have so many issues around here. This exactly explains why y'all have so many issues around here. Then y'all want to talk about energy. How does somebody honestly say another person is really fucking up? And I can agree with that. Because going out to drink with Logic is a fucked up move to make. But it is her move to make. I'm not mad at her for her decision. What I'm saying is, when you see that hypocritical bullshit, you have a choice to say, I want to rock with that shit moving forward, or I don't want to rock with that type of shit moving forward. Now, that link is still out there. So, Mr. Still Cross, you want to roll out of your motherfucking bed and click on that link? And I do a 2-for-1. Since you always here in the morning, too. You might be driving or something. So, the link is available to you. I got a couple of more motherfucking seconds before I have to take care of my daughter. The energy that she brought here was because somebody told her something. She had already heard that there was a problem, that I was speaking on her, that I was in conversation speaking on you. No, so that's why I want to get to the nitsy bitsy, because I called no one. I haven't spoken to any of those folks since they did the shit, since they was doing the other shit. I just took a silence to it. One called me. And I did not preference any text message seeking a call. One called me, wondering why I'm not repping the rich life. So let's get with it. That's not my campaign. I'm not gonna say she wasn't discussed, but I'm gonna say she wasn't my problem. She was their problem. I don't give a fuck. I hope she goes out, has drinks with Logic. He fucking brandishes his guns and police officers shoot them all. Yeah, that's. And if I was writing a script, that would be my script. If I was a screenwriter, that's the screen I would write. Because I saw him on that live that night with that gun. Who, what, where, when, why? I mean, if you ever want to get to the bottom of something, you need to ask questions, Satsuma. And that's why I asked her when she came in and I saw the tone of her message. And what I spoke on at the top of the live was about her tone that she came in my room with. And on that occasion, and how she flipped the script and turned it to Karen and decided to be attacking Karen instead of answering my question when she asked me, who am I to be talking about their bingo game with somebody else? And I went into details about that again this morning that I'm not going to revisit. And in addition to that, then if she was here, since I sent the text message at 6:40 something, and it's 8 o'clock let's say it's 8 o'clock when she showed up. If you was here, you heard it, and you heard me going into the segment on something else. So I said to you, I will address you after I'm done with what I'm already saying. So again, it is to now interject and become part of something. Bye. Absolutely bye. And you know what's so weird about that? It's so weird. It's so weird. Next, they'll be calling Karen up and tell Karen I didn't like her either. I had something. Who else would they call up from that conversation? Let me see where that conversation could lead. Some motherfuckers I don't give a fuck about. How about that? How about that? At the end of the day, none of y'all bullshit. Oh, maybe the next one is Black Truth. Because the last thing was about watching some fucking trailer, which I have not watched. Because I do live on the premise of if I ain't got nothing nice to say, I ain't gonna say nothing at all. And because Black Truth came and disrespected me, I ain't watching no motherfucking trailer. And I'm not interested in who produced anybody's motherfucking movie to give a comment on. Period. End of story. I don't give a fuck about what any of y'all is doing over there. Because y'all done told us it's fake. Y'all done told us that y'all been writing scripts for however long. So I don't want to see no more of this fake shit. Go right ahead. Do that shit without me. I'm not interested in it. That's what I said. That's what I meant. I'm not interested in that bullshit. Y'all gonna try to take this corny made up shit now and make it into a new movie? Want to know what else I think? Since we on what Monica really thinks, my thoughts on shit. Y'all had so much problems with Logic, right? Y'all can't live with him, and you motherfuckers can't live without him. Everything that you're doing now, post Logic, post men, when he's no longer involved, is all the shit that Logic wanted to do, but you wasn't down with when he was there. So what, was you mad that he came up with the plan? Or you wanted us to think that he stole the plans from y'all? Y'all motherfuckers are jealous. And you need two eyes to be jealous. Nah. We learn differently around here. Envy is in the eyes of the beholder. You only need one of those motherfuckers in order to be envious. That's what the shit boils down to. You want us to believe that on this motherfucker, Logic wanted your wife and you was going to go to Hawaii and all this other shit and all this other stuff? You paint your wife out to be like a hoe like the rest of the people did around here? That's the scripts y'all writing around here. That shit is ridiculous. So you don't really want to know what Mo has to say or what Mo thinks on something, because this is what you people are generating. You know what you made yourself sound like? You made yourself sound like you turned a hoe into a housewife. That's the most ridiculous shit I ever heard. Where we do this shit at? No respect. Y'all made it sound like y'all was passing this bitch through the whole fucking community. Where the fuck you do that at? You got another woman making a video talking about your seed is somebody else's seed. Where y'all do that at? Now, still, let me tell you something, sir. Because I'm from Queens, and you know, I'm from the hood. I'm a hood bitch every day of the week, right? You done told me some shit that I would not repeat, because again, people tell me shit, I keep it in confidence. Plans to come, things to do. I'm not one of those type of people. But Miss Tawana came up here and she basically said that when you got off the phone with me, you went over here and called to her. But that's not what really happened. This came out of PGE making a video and you getting in your fifis yesterday. And then you called her up yesterday. I guess if I would have kept her on the platform long enough, I could have asked her, when did this happen? And she would have been more than likely to say, I found out yesterday that you was talking about me, that you had a problem with me. Sir, what was my problem with her? But now everybody in the open on the platform could see what my problem was. And if you cannot see it, all I can encourage you to do is go back and watch the live, and then you'll be able to understand it. It has to do with, and go back to the other lives, how she comes in, what she says, and how she says it. And there was a distinct reason why I said, I'm about to talk about you. See, this is why you need to stay prayed up. I'm going to tell y'all something about prayer. This is why you need to stay prayed up, because my creator, he will always give me those little words of wisdom before I move forward. And he buzzed in my ear, said, make sure you just let her know you're about to speak on her before people tell her you about to speak on her and she take it to the negative. I don't really care how she takes it, because y'all know how I feel about characters in my stories. If you don't like the role that your character played in my story, then you need to change the way your character behaved, and then I might just consider changing how I convey your character's position. And that's about it. I could care less or anything else, and I'm not disrespecting anybody's wife. I'm telling you how you look to the public based on what they're saying in their script about you. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about jealousy. I'm talking about what a reasonable person can deduce from those relationships. Crazy lady, pretend you can't see me and don't address me. People that sleep with scriptwriters are dumb. The defender of scriptwriters is weird as well. I'm sorry, but the number you dialed isn't working. Y'all really doing that in the chat? Really? Really? Hold up. People trying to force you to rep a hashtag again, weirdos. Well, ask me why. Now, I'm not really sure. So I want to be clear. When they was doing the hashtag rich life, right? I probably did get involved in it because I was shopping for, oh, it's upstairs, my Louis Vuitton planner started this whole shit. It had nothing to do with them and their hashtag rich life stuff. It had to do with with my ops that I have a problem with, right? I wasn't even in a back and forth, but they was back and forth making videos trying to grow some man's channel to 1,000 on my back. I went to the store and bought a Louis Vuitton planner cover, right? That's it. Nothing else. Everything less. I bought that. I bought the Louis Vuitton. You understand? Let me tell y'all how shit works. All of the folks on this side of town apparently watched a movie. What's the name of the movie? Something have to do with Versace. I was encouraged to watch the Versace movie, understand where the name Andrew was coming from and all this other stuff. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I didn't want to be engrossed in it. I don't give a fuck why people's calling somebody Andrew. I don't really give a fuck. So I didn't watch no Versace movie. I didn't go get on the Versace bandwagon and buy Versace shit, because to me, Versace shit is just not for me. It's not for me, right? When I looked at the brand, I liked my Louis Vuitton stuff. I bought my Louis Vuitton stuff. Now, I will say this, because motherfuckers was over there worried about what I was getting. I did step it up a notch, so to speak, and showed some other purchases that I made. But it was not necessarily repping rich life. It was repping Mo life. Okay. These are things I wanted. I knew that by Christmas season, they would start becoming available in the store because they had not been available in the store all season long. So I was penny pinching my stuff. I went to the casino. I won a little bucos. I was up here showing y'all my buco winnings, and I used my winnings to get me what I wanted. So I have no regrets on getting what I wanted. It's a good series on Netflix. I remember following the case or whatever. But at the end of the day, I didn't throw on to something. Splashing someone else's name all over yourself doesn't mean rich. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. I bought and I said this when I got my Louis Vuitton Tawana, that I bought it because of the quality of the planner itself. And I've been wanting it for years. I've been on here watching these planning channels, and I got a planner that fits in there, and I got a style that's equivalent to it. It is so funny because when my boss sent me my bonus money this year, he basically asked me, was I going to be able to get my Louis Vuitton planner cover? So it's not something new to folks. All right, if you know me. So that was not new. I think I shut it down when I did the 2-for-1 and I got T a bag that she wanted. That's about it. I don't do unboxings on here, and I don't flash a lifestyle because I want people to be envious of who I am or feel a certain kind of way about what I have. I would like to think that I'm frugal in some ways, frugals with class in others. But it is what it is. I showed my Louis stuff because I could. I did. It's my channel, and that's it. And that's just what it is. When it's hard for me to define to you guys, but at least the Louis Vuitton salesperson, she seemed to understand. And each one that I met along the way, they seem to understand what my passion is. My passion is getting back some of the things I once had. And it's very hard to convey to folks that don't understand where I come from. You didn't have a fire and lose everything and have to start over from ground one, only with the clothes on your back. I could look around me and know that I went moving from November 30th, 2014 to the present day. I've went from doing moves with just me having a bag to, I think it was a trunk, to then having to move with a U-Haul, to now if I move anywhere, I have to hire movers. That's because I started from the bottom and I'm here again. And honestly, I've done that being on this YouTube. Not from the proceeds of YouTube, but while being on this YouTube. I have been unemployed. I've been employed, fired, unemployed, consultant. I think I came on here as a consultant. So I've been here as a consultant, another consultant, then hired into a job. Maybe some little gap in it being unemployed as I transition from the consultant into the permanent employment. The bottom line is I've done my life on here. Not worrying about anybody else's. I brought y'all to events where I couldn't even buy what I wanted to buy because I had to be fiscal responsible. Meaning that, yes, I could have got it, but my priorities would have been warped. I have never come on a video and said to somebody, oh, I got this is how you could tell jealousy. Yo, Mo, I got a Louis Vuitton bag, a box underneath my Christmas tree. I know it's gonna be. I never did nothing like that. It's crazy. People love to hate you. That's the bottom line. And when a person says you have a problem with me, and they want to hear your problem, you best to believe you better be able to explain what your problem is if you have one. I think I did a great job today explaining what my problem is now, and it's not even a problem. What I am willing to not live with anymore, and that's it. Set your goals in 2022. I said fuck you in 22. I mean that shit for real. I haven't even popped out of fuck you yet. But at the end of the day, some of this shit I don't even want to fuck with. All right, I've given somebody enough opportunity to pop up on that link. So I don't want to hear nothing else. I'm not saying that you can't speak on your own shit. You can speak on your own shit, make your own videos, do whatever fuck it is that you people love to do, because y'all script writers around here. But what you should caution yourself about and make it no misunderstanding, caution yourself well, because you're looking a little messy out here to be a man. It's one thing when these women do these bullshit, but it's another thing when you these people do other. It's terrible when the men start behaving in the behaviors that women engage in, and the women, when the men got more pussy than and the women got more dick. That's just unfucking believable to me. And Amber, I see you. I invest in stocks, not bags. I'm hoping this year that I'm able to convince folks not to invest in stocks per se, but to invest in a financial consultant and sit down and map your future accordingly. So I know many people right now, they're doing a lot of stuff on this apps, trying to make money and stuff like that happen, but it's a lifestyle. And I'm personally working on that more. If you watched me in 2018, that was one of the things that I came in here wanting to do. Financial dependence was something, or financial independence was something that I was really concerned about in 18. I'm definitely overwhelmed with it in 21. And it's one of the directions that I wanted to go in. And there are a lot of resources available to you for free. You could be on public assistance, and that means you could have no job and living on state aid and still be able to get a financial consultant to sit down with you for free and go over your finances and help you start to craft, plan your life, what next steps you need to get to reach certain goals. But what you got to really first begin to do is pulling your dreams and aspirations out of your head, putting them on paper, and then starting to plan a way to execute on those, mapping out a plan to do that. That's what I plan on doing this year, and I can do it with less people around me. I would be better off. Let me just be funny. With less of the what is this called? With less of that energy around me. I need to really release that energy from me, release that hold that energy has on me. And that's about it. Messy, messy boots. In the words of what's that dude's name? Neutral, the real. There's some real fake motherfuckers about here, if I do say so myself. Anyway, be careful who's your puppet master. This is Mo, and I've got to go.